Groups such as this one are being formed all over this planet today, my friends.
Welcome to the Cosmic Clock Listening Room. Imagine sitting quietly in a living room sometime in the 1960s or 70s, and a small group is gathered around a tape recorder. The lights are low and someone presses record, and the reels begin to spin. And suddenly, someone in the room begins to channel a non-human entity. The voices you're about to hear come from rare archival tapes, captured during a time when researchers were exploring the strange frontiers of consciousness, psychic phenomena, and possible contact with non-human intelligences. So dim the lights, settle in, and step into a new episode of the Cosmic Clock Listening Room. So on this week's Listening Room, we're going to be hearing excerpts from this tape, which is a reel-to-reel from 1961. And this reel belonged to Don Elkins, who of course wrote the Law of One books, known as the Raw Material books, that came out in the early 1980s, one of the most popular spiritual texts of the 20th century. People don't really know that Don actually led a group of channeling circles decades before the Law of One was ever written in the 1960s, in a living room at his house in Louisville, Kentucky, and I came across these tapes in a very strange way, which I will explain at a later date. But for now, let's throw on this reel.
I greet you in the love and light of our infinite Creator. It is my privilege to speak with you this evening, and I am happy to have this opportunity to do so. There are many things that I have that I could say to you. I have been aware of your conversations, and I'm very interested in what you have had to say. I should like to tell you that one thing to remember when you are new at seeking and learning is to be patient. Patience is very important, my friends. You can only receive information and answers to your questions as you are ready to understand them, and as your background of knowledge gradually grows, you are then ready for a little deeper understanding. Remember also not to be too hasty in forming opinions or in your judgments. You must have a picture of the entire idea of this new way of thinking before you can truly see the wisdom and beauty and grandeur of the way of life that lies ahead for the people of this planet. It is only when you have a limited amount of information and knowledge that is easy to misunderstand and jump to conclusions, shall we say. I am very pleased to see great numbers of the people of the planet Earth starting to seek new understanding, realizing that perhaps there is a better way, and realizing also that some of their current concepts might not be completely correct. Many, many groups such as this one are being formed all over this planet today, my friends. For this is the time of the beginning of the great enlightenment of all the earth's peoples. The time is not far off when the truth will be known far and wide. The true way of life will be known to all those who are ready for it. The choice will be up to each individual. No one can be forced to accept new concepts, more advanced teachings. Each must make his own choice. There will be some sadness in the days ahead, my friends. This saddens us also. But it is inevitable. And if you could understand the Creator's way in its entirety, you would realize that this is also a just method of selecting those who are ready, those who have prepared themselves through their own efforts for a better way of life. This does not mean that one who is not ready at this time will suffer tremendous hardships or will suffer anything for any great length of time. It simply means that they will have to wait a little longer to take a great step that many of the Earth's people are ready to take at this time. I have spoken many times of certain things concerned with the New Age, as we call it. One reason that I have spoken only briefly about conditions in this new age is because, as I have said before, many things which are coming within the average lifespan of many of the Earth's people today are beyond your present comprehension. Your wildest dreams and imaginings could not realize the beauty, the grandeur of such a way of life. I can only say that as your awareness increases, as you grow spiritually, you will become more aware of the possibilities. You will see, as the time comes, what I am speaking about. I am trying to impress upon you, my friends, the importance and the seriousness of your seeking. A much greater effort is required than most of the Earth's people have been willing to make. You must spend time in meditation, my friends. This is the way that you will prepare yourself for greater understanding. And as you are ready, greater understanding and higher truths will be brought to you. You must try to eliminate from your consciousness many of the things which are very common to Earth people's thinking. And above all, my friends, see those about you in their true form. Realize that each one that you come in contact with is actually the Creator. We are all parts of the one great Creator. How can you have less love for those about you than you would have for your Creator? As I have explained many times before, when I speak of love, I'm speaking of love in its universal sense. A more spiritual love, a higher love than people of Earth usually associate with this word. Not a possessive love, my friends. A love which would give freedom to those who are loved. Freedom to express themselves as they see fit. And a love which would enable you to understand them regardless of how they express themselves. The joy, the beauty of living in this type of love far surpasses anything which can be experienced in the present way of life upon this planet. It is such a feeling of satisfaction, of peace, of beauty, that it is not possible to express this feeling or describe it to you with mere words. I can only ask you to trust that what I am speaking is truth. And as you seek, as you grow, as your unfoldment progresses, you will become aware of what I am speaking of. I would like at this time to attempt to answer a few of your questions. If anyone has a question that they would like to ask. This quite often happens, my friends.
Will we have any tangible proof other than in our own mind, our own life?
This is something also, my daughter, that I have spoken of before. We have learned through our experiences with people of Earth and other similar planets that proof which appeals only to the physical senses is not usually a very satisfactory proof for people who are skeptical, let me say. If a person is solid enough in their conviction, then a proof which appeals to the physical senses will still not convince them. Because when they are given this type of proof, they will simply refuse to believe their senses. For those who are truly seeking and who meditate, a much more satisfactory conviction will come. They will gradually become aware of an inner conviction, which is, as you said, of the heart. When they achieve this inner conviction, it will be a knowing which nothing will be able to sway them from. By this, I do not mean to say that there will be no proof of a tangible nature or that would appeal to the physical senses. As time goes by, you will be given more proof, more confirmation. But if you make the effort that I have spoken of, you will probably not require this proof by that time. I hope I have answered your question. Are there any further questions?
Are any of us here going to be incidents in the future?
I will say this, my daughter. If this group will meet sincerely, conscientiously, there will be an instrument in this group also. As you are aware, every group that you know of in this area that has met sincerely and conscientiously has been contacted. Someone in the group has been contacted. When, how soon, depends mostly on the group and the individuals in the group. Does this answer your question?
Mm.
Any further questions at this time, my friends?
I would like to ask one. It's a little bit on the personal side, but do any of the space people ever come down to this earth? Do they heal any sickness?
There have been many occasions when people have been helped physically. But this also depends very much upon the thinking of the individual involved. If their thinking is on the right level, they're not likely to have physical problems. If their thinking is on a low enough level, it is not always possible to help them, because this also involves a right of choice. Also, this may be an experience at times that this person needs to help them in their spiritual growth. Sometimes certain unpleasantness in the physical world is beneficial to the growth of the spirit. This is how we learn, by experience, my daughter. Your object should be to see everything as perfection. I realize this sounds rather difficult at the present time, but as you progress in your thinking, you will be aware that this is not quite as difficult as you might think at this time. Any further questions at this time? If not, I will leave you now. But I will look forward to speaking with you again, my friends. I am pleased with your beginnings as a new group, and I wish you great success in your efforts. You may not be aware of it, but you are all being guided and helped by we, your brothers in space. And you will become more aware of this as time goes by. My love to all of you. I must leave you now. I am Hatan. Adonai Vasu Baragas.